Hello.
Hi.
I'm here with the cast of No Exit.
I'm Tyler Patton. I play Joseph Carson.
I'm Katie Clemeny. I play Inez Serrano.
I'm Anna Hobbs. I play Estelle.
I'm John Bashir. I'm playing the valet.
The way he relates to a modern audience, right, is the sort of intersection of thought and action. You know, in the context especially of social media and the modern world today, the extent to which activism becomes about a presentational product rather than any kind of actual deed that's done that enacts change. You know, it's the posting memes on your Facebook in support of Ukraine, but what difference does that make to somebody who's fighting and dying on the ground? In many ways, Garson is sort of reflecting on the entire complex of ideas that represents in our modern world today.
She knows that the opinion of others is really what hell is, and so she is very much aware of how she's able to kind of manipulate or torment the other two. She's an interesting character. She was written in the 1940s, pretty heavily implied that she's a lesbian, which was kind of an interesting thing to actually do at that time, and especially make the character such a powerful one on the stage. And of course that wasn't received well, and unfortunately I think in some cases it won't be received well today, but she's very much got that whole aspect of the tropey, like, you know, queer-coded villain in this. So she, even though they're all pretty awful people, she's kind of goes for the jugular, so I think she's kind of more the antagonistic one of the piece. I guess in a modern way of thinking, we might associate her with those more militant lesbians who are, you know, I hate men on principle. And I think that's part of Inez, but I think in my head, she's got her own personal reasons for it too. So she's very much the mouthpiece. She's very much an influence of kind of the women in Sartre's life, I believe, as well. Simone de Beauvoir, who was his longtime partner, who wrote The Second Sex.
She's presenting the positives and the shiny side she wants everyone to see, and I think that we've all kind of adapted that behavior because of social media. Before, we were so heavily into our online presence, we could hide things we don't like, but now we actively try to make it look like we are a certain way, even if it's just an outright lie. Like, there's people who literally post pictures in their backyard and say they're at the beach, you know, and that's something Estelle would do. It's just a whole new level. Well, rather than trying to keep your secrets, you're actively creating a new life for yourself, and I think that's what Estelle does. The way that she tries to spin her life story initially. I think Estelle's also relatable, and I think it's just a tale as old of time. She was dependent on men in her life because that's how she learned how to survive, and I think a lot of women, even to this day, when they find themselves in a place of poverty, or if they happen to have the quote-unquote beauty that, you know, men are attracted to, they will use that, and sometimes it's at the detriment of other skills that they could be learning, or even other more empathetic behaviors, because it teaches them that they have to manipulate people. And the opposite of what Inez does, instead of outright just rejecting the patriarchy, she tries to use it to her advantage.
John, I don't know if you wanted to throw anything in. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. but we're fortunate to have John, who is, what word would we call him? A very experienced theater and film veteran, to help
Take you to hell.
yeah, right, and to bring his talents to the stage again. So I guess I should maybe say a little bit about why I thought it was appropriate. Oh, I'm Heather Eggleston. I adapted this.
This is my show.
And like, I'm directing it. It does seem extraordinarily relevant to our time, and my imagination got caught up with the idea of these, you know, philosophers and artists that I really respect with Nazis at their door, you know, and like, what do you do in that? And you can collapse, or you can create art. Creating art and being part of art and collaborating, we can at least make some small dent in the chaos that surrounds us. That, and I just really wanted Katie to play Inez, and decided to take on this project.
For those of you who have gone through, you know, COVID for the last couple of years, The Guardian, I believe in 2020, listed this as one of the most plays that deal with isolation. So, if you were bored at home, why don't you come, and you finally want to go out, come see a show about people stuck together and they can't leave,
And also it's a little weird. We are doing some things you probably won't see in shows. We are playing with some expressionism and pre-absurdist elements. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
We'll get it in the shoes.
Fix it post.